profession?
Yes, my name is Tamara L. Curry, Gill. My stage name is Tamara L. Curry. I'm currently the theater teacher here at George Washington Carver High School. I am the troupe director for the International Thespian Society, as well as the Fine Arts Chair for the Fine Arts Department here at this school.
And what college did you attend?
I attended Howard University.
What did you major in?
I majored in theater, emphasis in acting, so I have a BFA in acting from Howard University.
I actually didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. And what made you want to become an actress?
I've what you would call a child actor, so I've been doing this since I was a kid. And so early on, I would seek different professional gigs wherever I could get them. Gigs meaning acting jobs. So I would do community works and do like public service announcements, different types of industrial educational films. I had a Christmas film that ran for about 12 years that I did with one of the local community stations. It was a Christmas Carol. So it ran for about 20 years before they stopped showing it on the air. And I always knew what I wanted to do. I went to Performing Arts High School, where I majored in acting. I went on, the first college I attended was West Virginia University, which I had a theater acting scholarship to go there. I was there for 2 years, and I wanted better training, so that's why I transferred to Howard University. So I became familiar with their program after doing a show there in their summer stock theater, where I did a production of Dreamgirls and Bowling Brown Sugar, and the next year I transferred. So I was under, at the time, Al Freeman Jr., who was a notable actor, producer, director, was the head of the department. We would have people come in and do workshops like Felicia Richard, Debbie Allen, Ruby Dee, Ossie Davis, Lynn Whitfield. We had August Wilson Day. Right now we're getting ready for the August Wilson monologue competition. We had August Wilson Day where he and his wife were there, and we had a huge program for him, and we had a reception for him afterwards, so students were able to do a meet and greet and get to know him personally. So being in that environment, you never knew who was going to come from Howard University. But we have a large working professional artist community at Howard University.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. What obstacles did you face while being an actress?
I think obstacles that anybody faces in being an artist is how you're going to survive. So how are you going to make the initial investments in yourself? So after I graduated from college with an acting degree, people wanted to know what type of experience I had. Well, most of my experience was in performing. So, and I was looking for a day-to-day gig to pay my bills, that type of thing. So sometimes when I had first moved to Hollywood after I graduated from college, I used to work at night so that I could audition during the day. That was very difficult because I didn't have a lot of sleep, so it was hard to focus on auditions. But you have to be very resourceful, very good with your money so that you can budget out, because you're not going to be paid all the time. So when you do work, you get a lump sum of money, and you have to spread out and then make sure that you can you have monies to cover different expenses. Like, say, for example, if you need new headshots and resumes, you have to pay for acting classes, workshops. You have to eat. You have to pay your rent, that type of thing. When I was auditioning in Hollywood, you would have to go in and look the part. So sometimes you would have to go out and, you know, one time I needed a suit. I had to go out and buy a suit because I didn't have an office job. So I didn't have a suit, so I had to go out and buy one, or else you have a friend, you know, that you can borrow something from. Another obstacle was I had to move 3,000 miles away from my family, so that was really hard, being that far away from them. But I mean, it can be an obstacle, but if you believe in yourself and you know where your purpose is and you have a good support system behind you, you follow through, it's worth it. But being an artist, you make those types of sacrifices and you overcome those obstacles because you can't see yourself doing anything else.
Okay. So what made you stop wanting to be an actress or leaving that profession?
Well, I had been in Hollywood for about 15 years, and I missed my family, and I had been teaching for about 12 years then, so I was starting to teach more than I was acting. So I said, well, if I'm going to teach full-time, then I don't need to be 3,000 miles away from my family. So, and I knew that I had other dreams that I wanted to pursue. So as long as I was able to express myself creatively, around that time, I started to produce and direct. So I had other talents that I wanted to expound on. So I decided to move back to DC. In that process, I met my husband who lived here, and so I ended up moving here. So, but it was, I still act from time to time, but it's not a profession anymore. So it's more so like a hobby.
And what made you want to teach more than act?
Is that a trick question? I don't know. You know, teaching is just, I never saw myself teaching, but I started doing it and was pretty good at it. So that was it. It was my classroom, was my stage, and I just know how the theater can change people's lives, and you have that power as an artist. So I was just, and then with teaching, it was more so helping children find their voice and build their self-esteem. And that goes back to me always being an activist within the community and giving back and that type of thing. So I saw through my teaching, I was able to influence more people than I was on the stage, because I had a broader audience. So
That is actually really good.
well, thank you, Elise.
For final question, knowing me personally and working with me,
Mhm.
is there any advice you can give me on wanting to be an actress?
Advice I would give you would be, you know, it's hard work, and it should seem easy. So, and it should seem seamless. But if you put all of the work into it, you don't know what the payoff's going to be, but you have to believe in yourself, and you have to put that work in to get some type of result. And it's good to listen to constructive criticism and be disciplined for what you want and put the work in, not getting caught up on the idea of it, and because the ideas are great, but it's all about the execution and how you follow through.
Thank you, Ms. Curry, and I appreciate your time today. This concludes my interview.